Welcome to the Bad Place, America's worst states to live in 2024. The job market may have cooled a bit, but there are still far more job openings nationwide than there are people available to fill them. So, companies seeking to attract actual human employees like to set up shop in states that offer a great quality of life. While some states are more than happy to oblige, aggressively offering themselves up like they're auditioning for the role of Best Supporting State in a feel-good tourism board commercial, these are not those states. No, these are America's worst states to live and work in. These states, despite their unique charms and attractions, face significant challenges that impact the daily lives of their residents. Each year, CNBC's America's Top States for Business study considers quality of life among 10 categories of competitiveness used to rank the states. Under this year's methodology, the quality of life category counts for 13% of a state's overall score. We score each state on multiple livability factors, including crime rates, healthcare, education, air quality, and childcare. From high crime rates to poor healthcare systems, these issues contribute to a lower quality of life, making them some of the worst places to live in the United States in 2024. Let's dive in. Kicking off our list at number 10 is the Lone Star State, Texas. Now, Texas has seen a massive influx of new residents in recent years, and you'd think with all that fresh blood, they'd be sprucing things up a bit. For starters, Texas has the highest rate of uninsured people in the country. It's like they're allergic to providing affordable health care. And don't even get me started on their legal protections. Texas seems to have a real knack for passing laws that make it harder for workers to fight for fair treatment. And if you happen to find yourself unemployed in Texas, well, let's just say their unemployment benefits are about as generous as a cactus in a hug. They're practically designed to make you want to get back to work as quickly as possible, even if that means accepting a job mucking out horse stalls with a toothbrush. Texas, where everything's bigger, including the problems. Moving on. Coming in at number 9 is Indiana, a state where finding reliable and affordable childcare is a significant challenge. The lack of accessible childcare options takes an emotional and financial toll on families, making it feel like an impossible task. Parents are left feeling frustrated and overwhelmed as they struggle to balance work and family life. The emotional strain is compounded by the financial burden, leaving many families in a difficult position. Indiana, it's time to address these issues and support your families. Change is inevitable, and the choice to improve is yours. Well, bless their hearts, Alabama has managed to snag the 8th spot on our list. Let's start with their truly impressive efforts to discourage people from voting. They've made it as difficult as assembling IKEA furniture while blindfolded and riding a unicycle. Restrictions on early and absentee voting, strict voter ID laws, they've pulled out all the stops to make sure only the most determined or privileged citizens have their voices heard. And if you thought their voting laws were bad, wait till you hear about their wage policies. Let's just say they're not exactly known for their generosity. Oh, and did I mention their lack of comprehensive anti-discrimination laws? Yeah, that's a whole other can of worms. It's 2024, Alabama. Time to join the rest of the civilized world and treat all your citizens with dignity and respect. Chapter 4, Oklahoma, where your rights go to die and your arteries clog. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're heading to Oklahoma, a state that's really perfected the art of making life difficult for its residents. First up, let's talk about reproductive rights, or rather, the lack thereof. Oklahoma has passed some of the most restrictive abortion laws in the country, effectively banning the procedure and forcing women to carry unwanted pregnancies to term. And if you're not being denied basic health care, you can always comfort yourself with a heaping plate of fried, well, anything really. They're about as common as a sober night out in Las Vegas. Chapter 5, Arkansas, land of natural beauty and shockingly high crime. Coming in at number 6 on our list is Arkansas, a state that might be beautiful on the outside, but has a bit of a dark side lurking beneath the surface. We're talking, of course, about the crime rate. Arkansas has one of the highest violent crime rates in the country, which is a real shame because the state itself is quite lovely. It's like discovering your charming bed and breakfast is built on top of an ancient burial ground. Sure, the scenery might be nice, but you're constantly looking over your shoulder, waiting for the other shoe to drop. And if you think you can rely on the law to protect you, think again. Arkansas's anti-discrimination laws are about as effective as a screen door on a submarine. However, it's not all doom and gloom in Arkansas. They do have one bright spot: affordable childcare, a welcome surprise in an otherwise bleak landscape. Chapter 6, Tennessee, where the music's good, but everything else, not so much. Well, folks, we've reached the halfway point on our list of America's worst states for quality of life. And let me tell you, it's not getting any prettier from here. At number 5, we have Tennessee, a state that's known for its music, its whiskey, and its frankly baffling legislative decisions. From targeting transgender rights to limiting voting access, Tennessee seems determined to drag itself kicking and screaming back to the 1950s. And if you think you can at least find solace in a good healthcare system, well, you're fresh out of luck there too. Tennessee's healthcare system is about as reliable as a used car salesman with a heart of gold. Coming in at number 4 is Missouri, a state that seems hell-bent on proving that the Show Me State motto is less about showcasing their strengths and more about daring you to find a single redeeming quality. Let's talk about voting, shall we? Because Missouri seems to think it's a privilege, not a right. They've made it about as easy as parallel parking a school bus on a crowded street during rush hour. Voter ID laws, limited polling places, restrictions on absentee voting. They've thrown every obstacle imaginable in the path of their citizens exercising their fundamental right to vote. And if you thought their voter suppression tactics were bad, just wait till you hear about their crime rates. Missouri has a violent crime rate that would make even the most hardened criminal justice reform advocate weep. But the real kicker? Reproductive rights. Missouri has enacted some of the most draconian abortion restrictions in the country. It's almost as if they believe women are just vessels for fetuses, with no agency or autonomy over their own bodies. Louisiana, the land of Mardi Gras, gumbo, and some of the worst health statistics in the nation? We're talking high rates of chronic diseases, limited access to healthcare, and a life expectancy that's lower than the national average. But hey, at least they have a strong childcare system, right? Well, actually, yes. In a surprising twist, Louisiana boasts a surprisingly robust and affordable childcare system. It's like finding a pristine first edition of your favorite book in a dusty attic, an unexpected treasure in a state that seems determined to sabotage its own best interests. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're headed to the Sunflower State, a place that's not quite as sunny as its nickname might suggest. Let's start with the elephant in the room, or rather, the elephant-sized hole in their childcare system. Kansas, it turns out, is not exactly a haven for working parents. Finding affordable, accessible childcare in the state is about as easy as finding a unicorn riding a bicycle while juggling chainsaws. And if you thought the lack of childcare options was bad, just wait till you hear about the crime rates. Kansas might conjure up images of rolling hills and peaceful farmland, but don't let that idyllic picture fool you. But hey, at least workers' rights are protected in Kansas, right? Well, not so fast. Kansas has a bit of a mixed bag when it comes to worker protections, with some areas being relatively strong and others being about as effective as a chocolate teapot. And finally, rounding out our list at number 1 is Arizona, a state that might be famous for its sunshine, but has some serious shade when it comes to quality of life. Let's start with the air quality, shall we? Because Arizona's air quality is about as healthy as inhaling the exhaust fumes of 1,000 diesel trucks. It's hot, it's dry, and it's filled with enough particulate matter to make even the healthiest person hack up a lung. And if the air quality doesn't get you, the healthcare system might. Arizona has some serious gaps in its healthcare coverage, particularly for low-income residents. And let's not forget about reproductive rights, because Arizona certainly hasn't. The state has been on a roll lately when it comes to restricting access to abortion and reproductive health care. It's like they're trying to turn back the clock to a time when women had fewer rights than a houseplant. Well, there you have it. America's 10 worst states for quality of life in 2024. From healthcare and childcare to crime rates and personal freedoms, these factors play a crucial role in determining where people want to live and work. As companies and individuals make decisions about where to set up shop or settle down, it's important to consider these aspects of livability. So the next time you're considering a move or a job offer, do your research. Pay attention to the issues that matter to you, because when it comes to your quality of life, you deserve nothing less. Stay informed and make the best choice for your quality of life.